You might have already heard the saying that we are the average of 5 people whom we tend to spend most of our time with. But how do we make sure that we are spending the time with the right people who help us become the most successful version of ourselves? That is exactly what we are going to discuss in today's video. We are going to divide today's video into two major parts. In the first part, we'll look at how we can gain inspiration from people who are more successful than us, gain inspiration, insights, and their guidance on how we can help ourselves move towards our goals. And in the second part, we'll look at a few strategies that will help us stay inspired as we continue in our journey. Now, with that background, let's get started and jump right into today's video. In today's world, where we tend to spend a lot of our time on social media, one strategy that I found to be really helpful is to make sure that I'm following the right people on social media. I make sure that I'm following only those people whose life really inspire me and who also inspire me to become an improved or a better version of myself. Those people who are not scared of being vulnerable, who are not scared of sharing their struggles, and who are genuinely interested in helping those people who are following their path or who are following the same path that they used to walk along a few years back. And those are the kind of people I like to follow on social media. And when we follow them on a social media and engage with the content that they create, that also really inspires us to work on our goals and make sure that we are helping ourselves become a better version of ourselves. The second strategy that I found to be really helpful is to read their books. Try to find people who have already walked on a similar journey and who are sharing their journey, who are sharing the challenges that they faced in their journey so that we can also learn from their mistakes and their journey and help ourselves in our journey. Again, be very mindful about the books that we choose to read. But the good news is that there are so many people who have written so many amazing books and they share their journey in such a personal manner that we actually feel like we are sharing a cup of coffee with them and they're sharing all of their wisdom with us. And sometimes, reading a book while we are in our living room, we can almost sense their presence in the room with us, where they're sharing all that they want to, that help them become really successful. And we can really feel their energy and their presence in that book. And it's almost as though they're speaking to us directly. So the second strategy that I found to be really helpful is read the books of those people whose journey really inspires me and where they are in their life right now is something that I'm aspiring to have in some time in my future. And reading such books helps us make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with the right people who have the right mindset and helps us become a more successful version of ourselves. The third strategy that I found to be really helpful is to listen to the interviews of successful people. When we listen to these interviews and hear those people whom we respect and admire speak, we tend to gain a lot of insights and a lot of valuable information that they share about their journey that might also be helpful for us in our own journey. And it might not always necessarily even be in the same field that you're working on. You might still gain insights and inspiration from their journey. And anyways, we do tend to spend a lot of time watching videos on our different social media platforms or TV. And what I found to be really helpful is that when we are actually tuning into these interviews, we actually gain a lot of insights and that really helps us feel like we are spending the time with those successful people and help us feel inspired to take the next right steps in our own journey. So these are the three main strategies that I found to be really helpful, especially in those situations when I'm not able to find people in my real life whom I can really connect with or who are actually working towards a very similar goal. And in those situations, I have found it to be really helpful to find the right people on the different social media platforms and following their journeys and making sure that I'm taking inspiration from their journey and getting the connection and the inspiration that I need, that I seek from their journeys. For example, I remember when I was working towards getting a job offer from a leading management consulting firm, I did not have many people in my reality who were actually working with such firms. And I had to shift my mindset to a level that I had to convince myself that it was possible for me. And what I found to be really helpful is to follow those people on LinkedIn, follow those people on the different social media platforms and take inspiration from their journey. And a lot of people tend to share a lot of valuable information that can really help us in our journey and give us a lot of insights. And even if it is someone who doesn't share a lot on social media, just looking at their career journey and what are the certifications and the skills that they develop that help them in becoming or getting the jobs and the dream roles that they wanted to, I used to gain a lot of inspiration and insights from that. But sometimes in our journey, we also want to form a few relationships where we can actually build really good connections with people as we are moving forward in our journey, right? So now we are going to look at 3 strategies that I found to be helpful in forming personal connections as we are working towards our goals and helping ourselves become a more successful version of ourselves. And the first strategy that I found to be really effective is to actually join classes where people similar to you who are working towards similar goals are also there. And there we are able to connect with those people who are also in a similar journey, who are also in a similar phase in their own journey, and gain inspiration from them and probably build a personal connection with them too. And the second strategy that I found to be really effective is to volunteer for the courses that you believe in. When you volunteer for courses that really matter to you, you also tend to find similar people who are also working or interested in similar courses, and becomes a much more natural connection that you tend to form with them. And since it's a course that is already important for you, you also tend to enjoy the process and you also tend to have a lot of fun when you are doing those activities. So the second strategy that I found to be really effective is to volunteer for the courses that really matter to you and that is important to you. But then you might be asking this question that Danya, how does volunteering for a cause that matter to you help you become a more successful version of yourself or help you surround with people who are also successful? And what I've understood from my own journey is that when people tend to volunteer, they are actually feeling like they have something of value to share. And that kind of mindset where you want to give, but where you also feel so secure in yourself that you see there's something of value within yourself that you want to give. It could be your time, it could be your skills, whatever may that be. If you're able to find something of value within yourself, and if you have that intention to give back to the community that you're living in or support some cause that you believe in, you might also be someone who is already working towards their goals and who has the right kind of mindset. And when you volunteer, you might also meet people who are more successful than you and who want to give back to the community. And you also tend to learn a lot from those engagements. The third strategy that I found to be really effective is to speak about the causes that matter to me in my social media platforms. The thing is that you might already have people who are working towards similar goals or who have a similar mindset already in your friend circle or already within your community, but they might not be aware about what your interests are. So when you share your journey and share your interests, you might also attract the attention from the right kind of people who are also interested in similar topics or who are also interested on a similar journey or in a similar goal, and you might be able to form a much more valuable relationship with them. And also remember that sometimes what we need to become more successful are not other successful people, but other kind people who genuinely believe in us and loves us for who we are. Because as I mentioned before, in today's world of social media, we can get the information that we need to progress in our journey just at the click of a button. And the information might be readily available for us. But what we might be missing then is to have people in our reality who genuinely believe us and who want to support us in our journey. So to help ourselves become more successful, make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with people who believe in us and who wants to support us in our journey. And not just people who are more successful than us. So the key to surrounding yourself with successful people is to actually start working towards your own success. When you do that, you will inspire the people around you to also work towards their success, and you will attract even more people who are also on a similar journey and who are also working towards their own goals. And together, you can all grow and create a lot of valuable impact in this world. So let us now quickly recap what we discussed in this video so far. In the first part, we looked at 3 strategies that can help us connect with people who are more successful than us and learn from their journey. So the first strategy was to become aware of whom we are following on the different social media platforms and make sure that we are following those people who inspire us in our own journey. The second strategy was to read books written by these people where they share their journey and we can gain a lot of insights and inspiration from their journeys. And the third strategy is to listen to the interviews of people who really inspire us. When we listen to their interviews, sometimes it can almost feel like we are sharing a very personal conversation with them where we are asking the questions that we want to and they are able to answer those questions and give us the insights and the answers that we were seeking. And then we also looked at 3 strategies where we could actually connect and meet with people who are also in a similar journey. The first strategy was to join classes where you could meet other participants who are also on a similar journey and who are also working towards a similar goal. The second strategy is to volunteer for courses that matter to you. When you volunteer for courses that matter to you, you also tend to meet other people who are also working towards giving back to their community and adding value to this world, and those people who also believe that they have something in excess that they can share this world. And that is the right kind of mindset that helps us become more successful, and that is the kind of people who might help us in our own journey as well. And the third strategy that I found to be really effective is to share your journey and speak about topics that matter to you on your social media platforms as well. Because you might already have people in your community or your circle of friends who are also interested in similar topics, and then you will be able to form a much more valuable relationship with them. So I hope you found today's video to be valuable, and if you did, do not forget to hit the like button below and share this video with your friends with whom you want to grow and become the most successful version of yourself too. And if you would like to help yourself become the best version of yourself, then do subscribe to our channel and follow along. Until next time, take care and bye!